baggie, pull out a little baggie of snacks, and I know that I will not overindulge. Like, I know right now that I have 127 calories left for the day. I'm going to enjoy those with a Rice Krispie treat and a few frozen grapes. Woohoo! That's called discipline, people.
My fat ass just got up in the middle of that commercial break, walked to the vending machine, and got a Snickers.
Oh, my God.
Portion control grape. What kind of, the beautiful part of this is, I will let you get to whatever you want to get to here in just a second, Fitzy. I am supposed to be the show snob, okay? Like, this is, and it's not just not supposed to be. I am, okay? Like, that is a title that I've had my entire life. I'm a snob. I'm an elitist, and I'm good with it. Like, self-awareness is key. The best advice I've ever been given in any facet of life is the sooner that you could admit you're a D-bag, the easier life becomes. And I know that I am, okay? And it's freeing. I love it. It makes me very, very happy. And I'm happy to tell anybody that I come across, yes, I'm that guy, except when I sit across from you, okay? Because you are under some kind of impression that you are not equally as snooty as I am. But the person who talks publicly about counting their macros and how many calories they have for the rest of the day and portion controlled and all these things, it's okay to do them. We don't have to hear about it. It's okay.
Look, I'm
also, how many, you say abs on top of your abs? How many abs you have right now?
I got one. I've got one ab. It's
this is like a weird, look like a growth.
I mean, that's the funny thing is I've worked my ass off tirelessly for 2 years at this point, almost 2 years. May 17th will be 2 years of absolute dedication and work. And if Buck and I walked in together, nobody would be like, "Oh yeah, one of these guys is sacrificing and the other guy isn't." Like, I completely acknowledge this. I am trying so hard, but when you get, I mean, come on, man. Like, I'm gonna be. For what it's worth, I'm going to be 49 in a couple of months. Like, it's tougher at my age to just to cut these things. I know. I look good for my age. I'm not going to lie about that. But, like, it gets tougher and tougher as you get to this spot. And, like, I keep thinking that I'm going to be happy with wherever I end up. And then wherever I end up, I don't quite have the abs I want yet. Like, I set out for a goal. I'm very goal-oriented, Buck. So if my goal is to get abs, I refuse to stop short of that. But I may at some point soon have to give up. I may just have to decide that God looked at me and said, "Not you, fat Jesus. You don't get the abs." Like, I will say though, I saw some buddies from ESPN the other day at a minor league hockey game, and I haven't seen some of them in several years. And the first thing that a couple of them said is, "Oh my God, you got jacked, dude." This is the best thing you could tell me, is because at least like people notice some small difference when I haven't seen them in a minute. But I'm telling you, Buck, like, I really do. Like, it's a nightmare if I walk into a room and I see people I haven't seen for years and nobody says, "Wow, God, have you been in the gym?" Like, at this point, if that doesn't happen, I might as well just crawl into my bed and sleep for 3 days because I'm just sad.
When's the last time you and I have been in the same place in person? Was that Super Bowl 2 Super Bowls ago in New Orleans?
New Orleans was last year, not this Super Bowl, but yeah, 2 Super Bowls ago. Yeah, yes.
Okay. So when we all get together as a show in L.A., because I'm going to be in L.A. at whatever point the NFL puts out the schedule for the year, the Titans will play at Los Angeles this year. So we're going to make Fitzy schlep from Connecticut to Los Angeles just so we can all be together. We have to, the three of us, Ian and Mary and myself, we all have to commit to the bit that none of us will compliment Jason Fitz on his physical appearance.
You know what? Here's the thing. By the time, now that I have that date, like my guy Jeff always asked me to give him important dates on the calendar. Like, I just gave him my birthday as an important date. Like, dates I want to look good, right? Like, for me, I'm going to circle that date. And I'm going to tell him, "Look, I don't care what you have to do. I don't care what kind of shape you have to put me in. And then you're not going to have a choice but to say anything because I ain't going to wear a shirt." Like, I'm going to walk in and there will be no shirt at all. And let me tell you something. I'm going to be waxed. Like, you'll be able to eat pudding off of me and not get a hair. Like, I'm going to make sure that literally every portion of my upper body, as far as there will not be there will be no hair anywhere. Like, if I got to get it lasered off, I'm going to make sure that every ab has the chance to ripple through. And all you're going to think the whole time is, "God, that's a lot of nipple." Like, there will be no hair.
What is happening right now?
The first thing I'm going to say to you is you look like a 49-year-old naked mole rat. Martin, give us some updates.
All right, now let's break down the Trent McDuffie trade. All right.
Oh, yeah.
And Martin, give us the scoreboard
the show,
to save us
baby.
from ourselves. That's it.
Yes, it is. Welcome into Warriors Live here on 95.7 The Game. Mark Randy with you as we get ready for Warriors basketball right here on 95.7 The Game. As always, Warriors Live is presented by Xfinity. Your home court advantage brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity. Imagine that. It is 4:30 Pacific. Warriors basketball tips off from OKC in an hour. I'm with you for the next half an hour right here on 95.7 The Game as the Dubs get ready to take on the defending NBA champion Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder 49-15. That is the best record in the NBA. Of course, they are first in the Western Conference as a result. They're 25-6 at home this season, and they're a perfect 3-0 versus the Warriors so far this year. More on that in a bit. The Thunder, again, 49-15, and they aren't fully healthy, but they did recently get back their reigning MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's back. He's playing good basketball, as you would expect. And of late for Oklahoma City, they've won 4 games in a row. They've won 7 of their last 8. That is a pretty hefty injury report, though, for OKC. We will get to that coming up in just a little bit. First, though, the Warriors 32-30, 8th in the Western Conference. They've been 8th in the West for what feels like the entire season. They are 19-13 at home, 13-17 away from Chase Center so far this season. The Warriors, they're 7-11 in their last 18 games. That is since Jimmy Butler tore his ACL. More specifically, in the last 12 games that Steph Curry has missed, they're 5-7, and those are not pretty numbers. 5-7 in their last 12, 7-11 in their last 18. But frankly, they've done a pretty good job of staying afloat despite some pretty serious injuries. Tonight, though, probably the biggest challenge they will have faced during that stretch. This is a really, really good Thunder team, even considering their injuries. This is Warriors Live, again presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity, imagine that. Let's get right to our injury report because that is where a lot of the news is as it relates to this basketball game. First, our injury report is brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. For more information, visit boxerlaw.com. First, for the Oklahoma City Thunder, I mentioned SGA is back, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Good news for the Thunder. He's been back for a handful of games now and is playing good basketball as always. But they are without 5 key players, including Isaiah Hartenstein, dealing with a left calf contusion. Chet Holmgren has the flu. He is out, so they're 2 bigs that would normally start for them if healthy. They're not playing. Jalen Williams, that's the Jalen Williams from Santa Clara, the one that was an all-star last year, J-Dub. He is also out with a right hamstring strain. Alex Caruso, key part of their championship team last year, he is out with a left hip contusion. And then meanwhile, A.J. Mitchell, who, if you don't know him yet, I imagine you're going to relatively soon. He's been really key for OKC this season, specifically with all of their injuries, but he's also been injured for quite a bit now. He's out with both a left abdominal strain, just an abdominal strain and a left ankle strain. He's not playing today. And as you look at OKC and what has been their season so far, it's been injuries. It's been games missed. First of all, for the reigning MVP, SGA, he's missed 12 games. Not a terribly high number, but it has just been recently. Missed a bunch of games in a row. He's missed 12 overall so far this season. The one that has hurt them the most is Jalen Williams. They haven't been all that good when Jalen Williams has played. I would venture to guess a lot of it is because he just hasn't been able to get into much of a rhythm. He's missed 38 games so far this season, Jalen Williams has. Their big man, Isaiah Hartenstein, who again is not playing today, he's missed 28 games. This will be his 29th missed game. A.J. Mitchell, as I talked about, he's missed 21 games already this season. Another wing that they usually use off the bench, although he has started at times this season. Aaron Wiggins, he's missed 15 games. I talked about Alex Caruso, key bench player, great defender, another 3-and-D guy. He's missed 21 games. And then Lou Dort as well, who they often started at the 2-guard spot as a ferocious defender, got into some trouble for frankly, a pretty bad foul on Nikola Jokic earlier this week. He's missed 11 games so far this season. Not a terrible amount. But again, a lot of key guys have missed more than just a handful of games for OKC this year. And you consider all of that, and they are still 49-15 and the best record in the NBA. So this is a really, really good OKC team. It really doesn't matter who you take away as long as you got a couple of guys here and there. They've got the best roster in the NBA, and their record this season, despite all their injuries, shows exactly that. Okay, so that's it for OKC. No Hartenstein, no Holmgren, no J-Dub, no Caruso, and no A.J. Mitchell. Meanwhile, for the Warriors, they're going to be without a number of players again as well. We know about Jimmy Butler out for the season. We know about Steph Curry dealing with the runner's knee. He's also out. This will be his 13th consecutive missed game. The Warriors 5-7 in the last 12 without Steph. He's going to miss, obviously, tonight. He's not going to play on Monday in Utah. He's also not going to play Tuesday at home versus the Bulls. Who knows? He might return after that. We are expecting an update for the Warriors on Wednesday of next week. They said on the 1st of March, another update coming up in 10 days. And the 10th day of that will be Wednesday of next week. So we'll wait for an update there, but no Steph today, no Steph Monday, and no Steph Tuesday either. So no Jimmy, no Steph. We do have, though, some positive developments and some negative developments. First, for the negative, Moses Moody is still out with that right wrist sprain. He missed last game as well in Houston. The Warriors won that game, however, without him. But he's out in this one. Also out is De'Anthony Melton, and this one is a little interesting because Melton, to this point this season, has only, since he returned from the initial ACL recovery, right? Since he made his season debut, the only games he's missed has been in relation to a back-to-back, whether it is on the front end or the back end of back-to-backs. Those are the only times that he's missed games. That changes today. This is neither the front end nor the back end of a back-to-back, and he's not playing. They are calling it just left knee injury management. So maybe it's swollen up on him a little bit, or maybe it's just not quite as comfortable as it usually is, and they're holding him out precautionarily. But I think important to note that he's missing a game, not because of a back-to-back. This is not a back-to-back for the Warriors. They did not play yesterday. They do not play tomorrow, but no De'Anthony Melton tonight with left knee injury management. He is out. Seth Curry was listed as questionable. That's Seth, not Steph. Seth's been dealing with sciatic nerve irritation for about 3 months now. He was questionable. He got some work in pregame in Houston on Thursday. However, he is out and not playing tonight. The positive news, though, is in a couple of different fronts. I guess there's one more piece of maybe not the best news. Will Richard was listed as questionable with a right ankle sprain. He also did not play on Thursday in Houston. He is out. Will Richard is out of this game for the Warriors. He was listed as questionable, and that just got updated a handful of minutes ago, so no Will Richard as well. Now for the positive developments. First of all, GP2 did not play last time out in Houston with a left ankle impingement. He is ready to go, and he is available. And then the big one for the Warriors, Kristaps Porzingis has been out the last 6 games with what the Warriors have called a mysterious illness. He is available and will play tonight. Steve Kerr speaking pregame saying that he's expected to play about 15 to 20 minutes, which is essentially the same stretch that he played when he made his Warriors debut versus the Celtics a couple of weeks ago, right out of the All-Star break. I would imagine that means Porzingis is not going to play in the first quarter. That kind of is the way that the Warriors do this in order to avoid too many getting up and getting warm and then sitting back down quickly and doing that too many times over the course of the game. They're going to just kind of eliminate the first quarter entirely so that the number of ups and downs Kristaps has to get can be limited to just a 3-quarter stretch. That would be my guess. That's generally how Steve Kerr works these things when he has a major minutes restriction on a player that is working their way back from some kind of absence, whether it is an injury or an illness, just to get your basketball shape back up. That's generally what he tends to do. So if you don't see Porzingis in the first quarter, no cause for alarm. I would imagine he's going to start the second quarter. We'll see how it all plays out. But of course, we'll be talking about it on Warriors Wrap-Up tonight as well. And Tim Roy, of course, during the game, will keep you updated on when Porzingis comes in and how he's playing. But again, Porzingis is available, and he will play tonight against Steve Kerr, says 15 to 20 minutes. That is the injury report for the Warriors, again brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm. Again, for the Dubs, Porzingis will play, GP2 will play. The rest, though, not the best news. No Moses Moody, no D'Anthony Melton, no Seth Curry, no Will Richard. Those guys, we all thought maybe there was a chance they could go today. They are not. Of course, no Steph Curry and no Jimmy Butler. Meanwhile, for the Thunder, no Hartenstein, no Holmgren, no J-Dub, no Caruso, and no A.J. Mitchell for the Oklahoma City Thunder. So, suddenly, with this injury report, the Kristaps Porzingis minutes become maybe storyline number one for the Warriors in this one, because despite all of OKC's injuries, this feels like an uphill battle for the Dubs in this one. Vegas has the Warriors as 13-point underdogs, which is crazy considering just how much talent OKC is missing. Again, they're down who you would probably circle at the beginning of this season, their second, third, and fourth most important players. You can maybe make a case Lou Dort would be up in there, but the combination of Hartenstein, Chet Holmgren, and Jalen Williams all being out, it's definitely second and third most valuable Thunder behind SGA, but probably second, third, and fourth most valuable players, and Alex Caruso not far behind as maybe fifth most valuable, and A.J. Mitchell this season has been really valuable to OKC. So they're down so many key guys, yet it tells you how good this roster is, that they have all those injuries, and they're still 13-point favorites. Of course, a big part of that is because the Warriors are without Steph, and they're without Jimmy, and they're without D'Anthony Melton, and they're without Moses Moody, and they're without Will Richard. And while Porzingis is back, it's not like he's going to be able to play anywhere near 30 minutes tonight. So both these teams very, very injured. The Thunder a little less injured considering they have their MVP candidate, and they do have a better back end of the roster than the Warriors do. That is certainly true. There's a reason why they're the defending NBA champions, and probably a lot of people's pick to go back-to-back and win it all again this year. But with that said, the Warriors on this road trip, 3-game trip in Houston Thursday, tonight in OKC, and then Monday in Salt Lake City. I think most of us, even if you consider yourself a fan as I do, would probably say 1-2 on the road trip should be the goal. 1-2 should be the goal. And I don't think anybody in their right mind circled this game today as the one the Warriors would win. Most of us probably circled the Utah game on Monday as the one the Warriors would need to win in order to go 1-2 on the trip. You probably figured in Houston was going to be tough. In OKC tonight was going to be even tougher, and Utah's trying to lose. Doesn't really matter who's healthy for you, Warriors. That should be a game that you win because you're interested in winning, and they're interested in losing. Of course, it's not always that simple in the NBA, but that is the general logic. And I would have been happy with a 1-2 trip because I think for the Warriors, what you're trying to do right now is just tread water. Just stay above. Don't drown. You're just trying to not lose major ground. You're not trying to fall out of the 8th spot down to the 9. You're not really trying to climb either, although, of course, you want to do that. The math isn't really there, in my opinion, for the Warriors to climb. And if you want any idea of how the Warriors exactly feel right now, look no further than what Draymond Green said to Steph Curry postgame on Thursday. This was actually earlier in the day on Thursday, but Draymond gave some insight into his conversations with Steph postgame on Thursday. I want to read this to you. This was Draymond Green postgame Thursday when he was asked about recent conversations with Steph Curry. Draymond said, quote, "My confidence level is high, ultimately because I know he's going to put in all the work and do everything he can to get back. If his body allows him to get back, I know he will come back. He's not wanting to just shut it down. For us, just got to stay afloat. Nobody's expecting us to go on a 10-game win streak, but you just got to stay afloat. You can't let things go too far south, and that's what we're trying to do. Tonight's a big step towards that. You're never going to see him rattled, but I know him well enough. It's been a little challenging. Needless to say, he's staying around the guys, staying positive. You know, he's texting me today like, keep going. I know it's tough, but promise you, I'm coming back." That's Steph Curry. That's Draymond Green on what Steph Curry said to Draymond recently as Thursday before that game against the Rockets, but also in general, just recent conversations Draymond has had with Steph. That is the mindset of the Warriors right now. It is just stay afloat, wait for reinforcements to come back, and then you make your push. And by push, I think push just means don't fall out of the 8 because you look at the math And the math, in my opinion, suggests that the Warriors getting out of the 8 is going to be really, really difficult. And what the new goal for the Warriors should be is to just stay in the 8 seed. You look at where some of these teams are pacing right now. For example, the Lakers are currently the 6th seed in the West. They're pacing for 49 or 50 wins this season. In order for the Warriors to catch them at that pace, the Warriors would have to go 17-3 or 18-2 the rest of the way. That seems nearly impossible for the Warriors to do, even if they were magically fully healthy. They got a lot of really tough games on their schedule going forward. Okay, so 6 seems out of the realm of possibility. What about 7? Phoenix is currently pacing to win 47 games. Now, you can make a case that maybe Phoenix isn't going to stay on that pace because they're without Dillon Brooks and will be for a while, and their center, Mark Williams, just went down. They're going to be without him for a while, and that's certainly possible. But let's just pretend for a sec Phoenix stays on their relative win pace right now. That would mean they're eventually they're going to finish with 47 or so wins. In order for the Warriors to catch Phoenix, they need to go 15-5. Even that seems really, really tough. You look at the Warriors' schedule, you look at who they have tonight in OKC. They've got in New York versus the Knicks, in Boston versus the Celtics, in Detroit versus the Pistons. They got in Denver. They host San Antonio. They host Cleveland. They host Houston. Those are some really, really tough games. And for the Warriors to catch the Suns at their current pace, they need to go somewhere around 15-5. That sounds really, really tough as well. So the new goal, the new realistic goal for the Warriors is, as Draymond said, stay afloat. He didn't say this part, but I think it's stay as the 8 seed. If you're the 8 seed, you guarantee yourselves 2 bites at the play-in apple in order to go to a postseason series, and that is what the Warriors are really fighting for at this point. It's not fighting for positioning in terms of who you're going to play in the first round. It's just fighting for let's get 2 bites of the play-in apple because that gives us a pretty darn good chance of just getting to a postseason series. And whoever we play in that series, we'll take the challenge head on. But the Warriors can't be beggars, can't be choosers, and the Warriors currently are beggars. I think what they should be lining up to do is being that 8 seed in the Western Conference and getting yourself 2 shots at the play-in apple to earn a series. So with that said, the win in Houston, not that you're going out there and you're trying to lose tonight or you're okay with losing tonight, but the win in Houston makes whatever happens tonight a lot easier to swallow if you are a Warrior fan, because now you're looking at potentially a 2-on-1 road trip. If you just take care of business in Utah, you could lose tonight by 40. And you could still go 2-1 on this trip and feel pretty good about yourselves returning home. And who knows, maybe after that Chicago game on Tuesday at home, you get good news the next day about Steph Curry, and suddenly things are looking up and you can begin to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And maybe you start getting a little excited about the possibility of this team getting into a postseason series. So we shall see. But I thought Thursday's win in Houston was a really, really good sign for the Warriors going forward. This is what Steve Kerr said the goal is at this stage of the season. This was on with Willard and Dibbs on Wednesday, which was before the Houston game, of course, on Thursday. Here's Steve Kerr talking about the general goal for the Warriors as they're this injured.
You look at the whole season, you look at what the goal is, and there's all kinds of ups and downs within that season, and you just got to get to the finish line in one piece, and that's what we're trying to do. So get through this rough patch with all the injuries, pick off some games here and there, and hope that we can get some of our players back, and if we do, we feel good about our chances to make a run.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of similar to what Draymond just said about his conversations with Steph. It's what Steve said there. Draymond said just stay afloat. Steve said just pick off a few games here. And that's what Thursday was. They picked one off, right? They intercepted that. They stole that from Houston, and that is what you need to do. You don't have to go, as Draymond said, on a 10-game win streak. You just need to stay afloat so that when Steph eventually comes back and as Porzingis returns tonight, and you hope this is the beginning of a long stretch of health for Porzingis going forward, you don't have to chase as much. Of course, you'll be trying to chase, but in order to be the 8 seed, you don't feel like you have to chase. You just stay in front of the Clippers. And by the way, the Warriors were aided by San Antonio last night. San Antonio down as many as 25 versus the Clippers, and Wembanyama erased that deficit, and they came back from all the way down 25, and they came back and they beat the Clippers, which was good news for the Warriors last night. If the Clippers had won that game, it would be a half-game difference between the Warriors and the Clippers. And because of that Clippers loss, it would be a game difference. Because of that Clippers loss, the Warriors 2 full games up on the Clippers, which is good news for the Warriors. All right. This is Warriors Live presented by Xfinity. Your home court advantage brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity, imagine that. Let's get to our Take It to the Bank prediction, which is brought to you by Fremont Bank. Here for you, here for good. I'm going to go Draymond Green over 4.5 assists tonight. I think the Warriors figured something out offensively on Thursday with Draymond Green specifically. We've talked about this a lot on Warriors wrap-ups in the past, but specifically without Steph and without Jimmy, but really without Steph because we've known Jimmy's been out for the whole season for pushing 2 months now. The Warriors' offense without Steph has been so predicated on just swinging the ball around the perimeter and whenever you create an open three, taking it. And in my opinion, that doesn't really fit what Draymond Green's skill set is. Where Draymond is the most effective is if you can give him the ball, whether it's top of the key or either elbow or maybe post-extended short corner, something like that, and running a bunch of off-ball screens, backdoor cuts. You got the split option the Warriors run often with Draymond Green as the passer. That is the kind of offense that I think highlights Draymond Green's skill set the most. Let him be the passer. The defense has to respect his ability to pass, while they might not respect his ability to shoot when the ball gets swung to him from the open spot, and your advantage that you created by a drive is suddenly evaporated because Draymond can't make that open three or doesn't want to shoot it. That loses you the advantage. But I think the way to keep the advantage is by putting the ball in Draymond's hands and let him be the passer, and hopefully that he can find some cutters in good moments. He had 8 assists on Thursday versus the Rockets, and I think that's a big number to look for. When the Warriors are down players like Steph and Jimmy and tonight Melton, they need to find creative ways to create offense, and I think Draymond is one of those ways as a passer. And I think that's what we're going to see the Warriors do a little bit more of tonight. So I'm going to go Draymond over 4.5 assists tonight. I think it's one of the only ways the Warriors can do anything offensively in this game, because this is an OKC team that, despite all their injuries, they still are a really, really good defensive team. And the Warriors will be challenged to score on them. So I think they're going to have to lean into the strengths of the people on the floor. And for Draymond, he has been relatively limited scoring the basketball this season, particularly shooting of late. The way to maximize his skill set is let him be the passer and the distributor that kind of gets the Warriors working inside, because they also scored 60 points in the paint on Thursday versus Houston, and that's a really big front line led by Şengün and Jabari Smith and KD. And so it's not the easiest thing to score in the paint on them. The Warriors, I think, are going to have to do a lot of that in this game as well. Try to break down OKC, particularly because they're without their bigs in Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein. So we'll see how it all plays out, but I'll go over 4.5 Draymond assists, and that is my Take It to the Bank prediction, brought to you by Fremont Bank. All right, that will do it for Warriors Live here on 95.7 The Game. Thank you so much for tuning in. Warriors Live is presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity, imagine that. It is Warriors at 32-30 in OKC, taking on the Thunder at 49-15. This could be a playoff series preview, potentially. If the Warriors are the 8th seed, OKC is the 1. These two teams could face off in the Western Conference playoffs. We're getting a bit ahead of ourselves, but there is a chance that is a possibility. All right, Tim Roy standing by live from OKC. I will be back with Warriors wrap-up once this one is over. Warriors, Thunder coming up next right here on 95.7 The Game.
Ready for your next adventure? Welcome to San Francisco International Airport, your getaway to the world. With over 130 nonstop destinations worldwide, SFO offers seamless travel experiences, stunning art installations, and delicious dining options. Whether you're flying for business or pleasure, our state-of-the-art facilities make your journey smoother than ever. Don't forget to explore our unique shops and local flavors. Pack your bags and take off from San Francisco International Airport. SFO, your adventure awaits.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into video only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
High five! Up top! Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Heck yeah! He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread. Yes! The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping. Woo!
For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're